Here with me tonight, Congressman Matt Gaetz, Congressman Louie Gohmert, and Congressman Andy Biggs. First, gentlemen, I just want to say to you, congratulations. You have actually stirred the mountain. It is moving. It is, in all seriousness, this is the first genuine consequence of a congressional action on this issue that we have seen. And I just want to say not only congratulations, but thank you. Congressman Gohmert, how important do you think, first of all, this development, Attorney General Jeff Sessions putting under consideration the appointment of a second general counsel to go after the Clinton Foundation to investigate Uranium One?
I think it's absolutely critical. And I've been pushing for this for months. I told President Trump back in early June that, Jeff, if he is recused on all these things, then the president needed to appoint a special counsel. So this is big. And I tell you what, Lou, listening to you go through the list of questions you had, I'm ready to get rid of Rosenstein and McCabe and McMaster's and put you in there. You're dead on. I mean, you're like a down that's right on the scent. You're asking all the right questions, and those are questions we got to get answers to if we're going to get this country back on track.
Thank you, Congressman. Let me turn to Congressman Biggs. Your thoughts? You've got to be gratified to see the Attorney General responding and publicly.
I am, Lou. I'm glad that he's finally taking some action. We've been calling for that. But I am concerned because in his letter he said he's going to have it reviewed in part by Rod Rosenstein. Mm-hmm. And I think Rod Rosenstein's part of the problem.
He is.
And I think we need to hold General Sessions accountable and get him to give us a real review, give us a real special counsel, and let's open this thing up and let's follow where it leads. That's my concern.
You know, Congressman Gaetz, he's going to, the Attorney General will be before your committee tomorrow. To what degree will you be able to inquire with some significant time about these issues and get a sense of where he's headed?
Well, tomorrow will be a very big day in the House Judiciary Committee, Lou, and the American people are tired of one legal standard for the Clintons and then a totally separate legal standard for everyone else in the United States of America. I mean, we have had a special counsel looking into the president for 6 months and have yet to produce any information that suggests there was any collusion. Meanwhile, we have the Fusion GPS head meeting with this Russian lawyer the day before and the day after the meeting with Donald Trump Jr., and we've got Democrats paying Russians to dig up dirt that isn't true about President Trump. That is the definition of collusion. What's totally inappropriate would be to put Bob Mueller and Rod Rosenstein in the mix looking into these things because they are potentially witnesses. Rod Rosenstein's name is on the signature block that's sealed from Congress and the American people, this important information about a Russian informant. It's actually Mr. Gohmert who went and found that information.
Well, and don't forget, Loretta Lynch is the one that had to especially approve the Russian agents coming into this country when she didn't have a visa, so she could have a meeting with Don Trump Jr., setting him up so that they could then say, oh, look, Don Trump Jr. is meeting with this Russian agent, so now we need warrants to wiretap these people. This stinks to high heaven. And by the way, when push comes to shove, we're going to see that it was Rod Rosenstein and Bob Mueller who's got those records sealed about the full Russian investigation, because if those records were out there where they could be viewed, then it would put Hillary Clinton, well, I don't know how she'll look in stripes, but that's the kind of thing we're looking at if once we get our hands on that case file.
Well, and as you take note, GPS Fusion meeting with the Russian attorney, both before and after, a debrief afterwards, in that meeting with Donald Trump Jr., as you say, it stinks to high heaven. We're going to continue our conversation with these three very important gentlemen in just one moment as we try to catch up with what is happening and the investigation. Why we're not learning more about what happened with the DNC, with the folks who put together the Uranium One deal and put all of that money, $143 million, to work at the Clinton Foundation. Was that just a coincidence, or was it a payoff? More with these three gentlemen on what to expect from Attorney General Sessions tomorrow in the House Judiciary Committee hearing, and will there be, in fact, a second special counsel appointed? We'll find out next. We're coming right back. Stay with us. Back with us again, Congressman Matt Gaetz, Congressman Louie Gohmert, Congressman Andy Biggs. Gentlemen, let me start with you, Congressman Gohmert. How can these FBI special counsel folks, whether it is Mueller himself, whether it is James Comey, whether it's Andrew McCabe, I mean, the list goes on here of conflicted individuals Absolutely. At the top of this. How can it even be permitted? McCabe has been under an inspector general inspection for I don't know how long now.
And it's outrageous with his wife involved in running for office and the money that came in. I mean, he should not be anywhere close to the position he's in right now. I mean, if we're going to get down to what the truth really is, Jeff basically has to count on the FBI. And when you've got people like McCabe and Mueller investigating these things, talking to the agents and all, it's creating such a cloud. We have got to get back to sunlight and bring that sunlight to bear on all the evidence, all the facts that are out there. This is really serious, and I'm so grateful to the president. He hadn't given up. He keeps pushing. He keeps pushing. And frankly, Lou, back in September of last year, I was talking to him privately, and I said, "You got to promise me you won't do what President Bush did, and try to be magnanimous. And you come in and say, okay, everything that happened in the past, that's in the past. Everybody starts fresh today." I said, because you've got some people that have been committing crimes. And he said, "You don't have to worry. We're going to come in and we're going to clean house."
Well, and Lou,
he's been prevented from it.
We can't live in a world where when you lose an election, it's a de facto immunity deal. That erodes the rule of law in this country. And if we don't get answers from the Department of Justice, that's what we've got. And the people currently there are too conflicted to investigate the very facts that they were involved in.
And that's why, Lou, that's why we have to have a special counsel. We've been clamoring for it for months, and why we've been so frustrated with the Attorney General, because he is getting advice from the very people who are implicated, or at least witnesses.
But surely he knows that, Congressman Biggs. Surely he understands that. He's a smart man.
He is a very smart guy. But if you go back and look, when he first recused himself, he was saying, "I have been talking with the career guys." And he has said that a number of times because he is so ethical and upright. He just figures, well, these career guys have got to be really towing the line. Wrong. People have manipulated him just the way Comey manipulated Ashcroft to get Ashcroft to recuse himself so Comey could appoint his kid's godfather, Patrick Fitzgerald, as special counsel in that deal.
You know, what are the odds that you would have a Uranium One deal going back to 2009 and 10 at the earliest part, in which you would involve McCabe, you would involve Mueller and Comey, and the list goes on? It is too far-fetched to even contemplate that it would be a coincidence. And now the FBI has become a place where investigations and facts and truth go to die. This is going to be driving everyone except at the top nuts there at the FBI.
Oh, and I've talked to plenty of FBI agents that are very, very concerned about what's happened, the politicization of the FBI during the last 8 years. And actually going a year or two into the Bush administration, not by George W. Bush, but by the people that were in places to use politics against the administration.
Let me just turn to one other issue here, and that's the dossier. Discredited, debunked. But it now appears, and you must surely know better than I, but it appears that that very likely was used as the basis for FISA warrants that were used to go after targets of the special counsel. Well, what do you make of it, Congressman Biggs?
Yeah, that's outrageous, and this is what we've been talking about, because the FISA warrants are supposed to be very carefully scrutinized, and here they're taking documents that were paid for by the DNC, by Hillary Clinton's campaign, and they're relying on them ostensibly to get FISA warrants to spy on American citizens. This is outrageous.
Yeah. Well, and Lou, if you had, think about if the shoe was on the other foot. If you had the Republican Party paying a private organization to go and bribe Russians to say untrue things about Democrats, you would already have 100 Democrats in the House of Representatives calling for impeachment. All we're calling for is an honest investigation. All we're saying is the very people that were involved in this rotten deal with uranium should be investigated, and they should not be the ones investigating the President of the United States.
But Rod Rosenstein and Mueller do not want to step down because they're the only thing standing between the American people getting the truth and the truth. I mean, they're obstructing things right now. They don't want anybody investigating because they're the ones that closed and sealed and protected the Russian investigation originally.
Congressman, again, our thanks. Congratulations on getting this moving. And let's hope the Attorney General does, as President Trump says, the right thing. Congressman Gaetz.
I love the way you nailed it. This is just the beginning. Getting it moving.
Congressman Gaetz, Congressman Biggs, Congressman Gohmert, great to see you, and thanks for being with us.
Always good, Lou. Thank you.